In slopestyle, I think it's like, unfortunately, like maybe 8 times this year in runs, he has done like tricks like a twister and just got out sliding and stood up and went, in some cases he just stands up and does a backflip. So he gets out of things better than anybody.
He
He's really
makes he
coordinated
makes
in that way.
crashes look too easy.
Yeah, like he's on a water slide or something with like,
Yeah,
but there's boulders everywhere. It's nuts.
yeah,
But
right.
yeah, what do you want to know about that thing? That thing was insane.
Well, I mean, I think it's an awesome story. Your brother's comeback. I think it's awesome. Tom Istead as a rookie, getting in. How did they even decide to collab on that thing? How does that work? Maybe shed some light into some of those inside infos.
It is a cool story. So Tyler had seen that feature back in 18 or 19 when the competition was at that venue. He saw it and went, ha, look at Canyon Gap, kind of like that, like as if. And in the back of his mind, it was always kind of just sitting there. And because he lives out there, he anytime he's chilling at home, he can look out and just, the mind wanders. He scours that area all the time in his side by side and on hikes looking for big features. He had remembered that big feature always. So when he heard that the event was going to go back to that venue, he's like, I wonder if I should go and look at that, Canyon Gap once we get back there for Scout Day. He's like, I think it was big though. It was like, yeah, it was probably like 45 feet, but also with, like heavy exposure and, down as well as out. And he got back to it and he was like, oh God, it's way bigger than I remembered. And, but committed to it. And that's the hard part is like, okay, we're going to start building this thing. And once you commit to it, you're like, all right, if this doesn't go well, I don't have a backup plan. If you go over there, there is no backup plan. Once you line up to that thing, as we saw in Istead's first run, if you mess up the run in, well, you got to stop or you're going to find yourself in the middle of that thing. And Tom had to slow down and stop, which like somebody who's so mentally strong and like with so much go for it as he has, that just goes to show how perfect you have to be on the run in. And on the run out, they didn't know if that was going to work. And in both Tom's, who guinea pigged it, badass, and Tyler's first runs, they both did not make the run out. And in the final day of practice, Tom barely made the run out. And you might as well even just throw in that clip right now because it's like anybody who loves mountain biking, especially if you love World Cup downhill, like look at that. The fact that he stayed on the bike on that was sick. He's a slopestyle guy who came from BMX and he made that run out. Like that dude's got a whole lot more bike skill than anybody would have ever thought. The fact that even as good as he is at crashing and bailing, he held on to that, didn't bail. That was sick. But that is one of those features where you can get away with straight airing it because it is so heavy on its own.